Atsumu faints. The curtains started fluttering as a cold breeze passed by. Atsumu found himself shivering. Setting the pen down, he started rubbing his arms to warm himself up. Everyone else had already fallen asleep. Atsumu was the only one awake at this hour. The moon was glowing brightly, and the only sound that could be heard in his room was of the page flipping. The cold breeze made Atsumu start shivering again as goosebumps started appearing on his arms. Just then, something warm was dropped on his shoulder. Huh? What's this? He noticed it was a blanket and looked behind him and noticed his twin brother looking at him. Atsumu was shocked to see Osamu wide awake so late at night. He thought everyone else had already gone to sleep. He glanced at the clock and saw it was past midnight. Samu, why are you awake at this time? I should be the one to ask you that. Why are you awake so late and studying? If you are forgetting, we have our final exams coming soon. So I was studying. Now answer my question. Why are you awake? Osamu answered, though his eyes were fixed at the dark circles under Atsumu's eyes. I was thirsty and went to the kitchen to drink some water. I was about to go into my room and saw the light streaming from your room. Oh, I see. Osamu raised his eyebrows as he closed Atsumu's textbook, grabbing Atsumu by his hand. What are you doing? You need to sleep. The dark circles are worse, and you look pale from lack of sleep. He forced Atsumu to lie down on the bed. Osamu knew his twin very well. If he left the room now, Atsumu would stay awake for how long, who knows. He was super concerned for Atsumu. He was worried something bad would happen if it continued like this. But no, you will go to sleep, and that's final. I don't want to hear anything else. Also, we have a match to play tomorrow. I'm not leaving until you fall asleep. The dark circles under your eye are worse. You need proper sleep and no arguments. Osama stared at him as if he was waiting for him to fall asleep. Atsumu stared at his twin. Having no choice, he sighed, giving up on arguing as he closed his eyes. Osamu watched his brother, waiting for him to fall asleep. Half an hour later, Osamu heard his brother's breathing becoming soft as he finally fell asleep. He is tired, yet he forces himself to stay awake and study so hard. I will have to watch him more closely. I don't want Sumu to get ill. Osamu left the room as he glanced at Atsumi one more time before slowly closing the door behind him, making sure not to wake up his twin. The next day, Atsumu woke up with a light streaming on his face. Blinking, he got up, stretching his arms and yawned, feeling a bit refreshed. Just then, there was a knock on his door. Sumo, wake up. Breakfast is ready. I am awake. I will come down soon. Atsumu opened the door when Osamu noticed his brother looked a lot better now, though he didn't mention it. Okay, we all are waiting for you. Get ready and come down to have breakfast. Okay, I will. After getting ready and having breakfast, he left the house with Osamu. On the way to school, they ended up meeting Suna. Good morning, Suna. Good morning. Morning. And it's good to see that you don't look like a zombie. What? Samu forced me to sleep last night. Then he caught me studying late at night. That's something you would do. For Atsumu, everything went well that day. But as days passed by, he found himself staying awake longer. Osamu would force him to sleep whenever he caught Atsumu staying awake late at night, studying. But that didn't stop the dark circles under his eyes from getting worse. But as the pressure mounted, Atsumu found himself caught in a relentless cycle of studying, practicing, and exam, having no time to rest or even fall asleep properly. Atsumu-san, are you getting proper sleep and rest? Atsumu-san looks like he isn't getting proper sleep for a while. His eyes are red, and he looks a little pale as well. Hinata questioned with worriedness. Everyone could tell Atsumu wasn't getting proper rest. Right now, they were taking a break from the practice match. Atsumu paused, glancing at Hinata, as he could see the concerned eyes coming from Karasuno as well as from his teammates. Atsumu smiled and replied, not wanting to worry his friends. Yes, I am sleeping and resting as well. Atsumu lied, but Osamu knew him better and could tell he was only saying that because he didn't want to worry them. Suga, who was listening from afar, noticed Atsumu didn't add the word proper when he answered Hinata. Osamu, why don't you force him to rest? Osamu answered, his eyes never leaving Atsumu, replying to Suga with a concerned look. Do make him sleep when I catch him studying late at night. But knowing him, he sometimes wakes up after you force him to sleep and studies for don't know how long. Am I right? Osamu nodded his head in agreement, glancing at Atsumu again, his face filled with worry for his brother. For the next few days, Hatsumu's days were a blur of textbook, volleyball, exam, and sleepless nights. Atsumu knew he was forcing himself too much. He was forcing himself to go past his limits. He was determined to maintain his good performance in both his studies and sports. Osamu, his ever observant twin, had noticed the toll that was taking on him due to him pushing past his limits. One day, Osamu was talking to Suna when he mentioned to Suna, Suna, I am really worried for Sumo. What's wrong? Is it about Atsumo not sleeping properly? Yeah. Have you tried having your mom talk to Atsumo? I did, but you know him. He studies after all that, saying he doesn't want his marks to drop. Tomorrow is one last paper that is remaining. So that he can get proper rest today, just make sure he sleeps. I know, but don't we have a practice match tomorrow with Shirai Torizawa? Oh, that's right. We can talk to Kita. If it get worse during the match, we will make him stop him. How does that sound? Okay, Samu, I know you are worried. We all are worried about him. Let's talk to Kita tomorrow when we meet him. Let's late, go to sleep and make sure Atsumu is sleeping as well. I will go check now. Bye. Bye. Una ended the call as Osamu put his phone on the bedside table. Leaving his room and making his way to Atsumu's room without knocking, he opened it and saw Atsumu was studying. Atsumu turned around, hearing the door open, and saw Osamu standing there, his arms crossed. He saw the worried look his twin was giving him, which he tried to ignore. What are you doing here? I should be asking you that. Go to sleep and no arguments. I sleep now. Atsumu couldn't argue at all. He got up and made his way to bed and lay down. What? I am sleeping with you today. I. Okay. Atsumu moved, making enough space for Osamu to lie down beside him. Osamu stayed awake until Atsumu had fallen asleep. Soon after, Osamu went to sleep. The next morning, Osamu woke up and saw Atsumu sleeping soundly beside him. Oh, I was worried that I would wake up and find him sleeping on the study table. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. Sumu, Sumu, wake up. Atsumu groans a little and wakes up to see Osamu looking at him. Samu, what? Wake up. We need to go to school. Hmm. Atsumu hummed, still feeling sleepy, but forced himself to wake up. Today, one more exam, then we have a practice match after that. I can rest properly. I should get ready. At school, during exam, Atsumu was having a hard time writing papers. Due to his lack of sleep, at times his eyes would get a bit blurry. Shit, I am having a hard time. Just a few more answers and I will be done. After the exam was over, Atsumu laid his head down on the table, almost falling asleep. Atsumu, are you okay? Hmm. Sumu. Atsumu looked up with a sleepy face. I am okay, just sleepy and tired. Can you even play today's match? Oh, I forgot we have a match today with Shiratorizawa. I can play. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, if you say so. Osamu and Suna shared a glance. They knew they had to talk to Kita-san before the match started. With Atsumu's current self, it seemed impossible for him to play with how tired and sleepy he felt. At the volleyball court, Atsumu was sitting on the bench, trying to stop himself from falling asleep. Osamu and Suna were busy talking to Kita regarding Atsumu's condition. What is it that you want to tell me? It's about Sumu. After the exam, he was really sleepy and tired as well. You are worried something will happen to Atsumu when we play? Yes. Kita glanced at Atsumu. Even I am worried about him. At that moment, Shiratorizawa entered the court. The game started as usual. They were halfway through the match when Atsumu felt his eyes starting to get blurry. and he was sweating as well. The ball had slipped from his hands that Atsumu was supposed to send, but before anyone could react, he fell on the ground. A loud noise echoed throughout the volleyball court. He slowly lost his consciousness, and the last thing he remembers is Osamu calling out his name worriedly. Osamu didn't know how it happened so fast. 1 second they were all playing, and in the next few seconds Atsumu had fainted. Sumu! Osamu ran towards his brother and tried to wake him up. Atsumu, wake up. I will call an ambulance. Please, that will help a lot. Atsumu didn't know where he was. He couldn't move. He slowly opened his heavy eyes and saw a white ceiling above him. Looking around the place, he realized he was in the hospital. On his right, he noticed Osamu sleeping while holding his hands. Hmm. Osamu groaned a little and woke up and saw Atsumu looking back at him. Sumu, you are awake. What happened to me? You fainted. Ushijima called an ambulance. The doctor said you overworked yourself and didn't get a proper rest. You are going to be admitted into the hospital until they see you fit enough to leave. The doctors arrived and checked Atsumu. You need proper rest. We will monitor you for now. Okay, thank you. The doctor left the room. As Sosamu sat down, I am sorry. For what? Making you all worry about me. Next time, I will tie you to bed if you stay awake and study so hard. I know exams are important, but your health is more important. Don't scare me like this ever again. I can't lose you. Osamu mumbled, but it was clear enough for Atsumu to hear it. Atsumu felt bad for making his twin worry like this. I am sorry. It won't happen again. Cuddle with me, please. Okay. Later, when Suma arrived at the hospital along with others, they saw the cute scene in front of them. The twins were sleeping while holding each other. Suna secretly took a photo. Atsumu was discharged from the hospital 2 days later. After that accident, Osamu became a bit protective over Atsumu. End.